Hello everybody. Yes, that's my dog in the background, Rocky. He said hello too. So I've been thinking about this for a long time, to start making videos on YouTube. I began about 2 years ago. I made some video, but I deleted them, and I guess I wasn't ready for it to start this. But now I'm beginning to feel ready to share my story and hopefully help some other people with my stories and everything that I've learned during these past, what is it now, 4 years, or it's 2 years since my twin flame journey began, or will it be 3 years now, I think. Yes, 3 years actually. So short introduction, my name is Jessica Södergård. I live in Finland, beautiful Finland. We're out in the forest now, as you can see. This is where I love to be. This is like my home, where I feel most alive. And this place has been like therapy for me since my divorce. That's 4.5 years ago. Will be 5 years now in the fall. I have a daughter. She's 9, will be 10 this summer. Beautiful little wise funny girl. And I'm making this video about my twin flame journey, and about my awakening. It all started, I think it will be 3 years ago now. It started about 1.5 years after my divorce, and it started when I went on vacation to Mauritius, beautiful Mauritius island, with my daughter and my parents. And I had downloaded Tinder, the dating app. So I matched with this guy, and we started chatting. And I didn't feel right away that we had this connection right away. It was like, maybe took about a few days or something. We began to chat more, and I felt that there was something there. But I think it was first when I came home from Mauritius, and we kept on chatting, and there was this one message that he sent to me. I think it was in the evening, and it was before I was going to go to bed, and he sent me this picture of his just his shoulder, and he just wrote that it would be nice to have my head on his shoulder. And I don't know, it was something about that message that really got to me in a way. I didn't really reply anything to that, because at that point I started feeling like, I don't know, it was weird. And then a few hours later he sent another message, and I think after that it started getting deeper, our connection, and we were chatting, and it felt good with him. There was something I had never experienced. He was kind, he was warm, he was gentle, he was like, in a way, that he knew me, even though he didn't. And so we started writing, but after time he got more quiet, and it took longer before he replied, and the closer we got, the more distant he became. And I got annoyed by this, and I was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, maybe we'll just forget about this, because it felt so difficult from the beginning. And we were gonna meet. We had planned on meeting when I had my summer vacation, and when when he was off from work, and we had decided one week when my daughter wasn't with me, when it was my birthday, and we hadn't like planned everything, but we had like, yeah, that week. But then he started becoming distant, and I don't know, he made up excuses, and it was like, oh, it's bad timing, and it's like everything else that was going on in his life. And I was like, oh, that's just bullshit. And I was like, well, let's just forget it if it's that difficult. And he was like this off and on for months. You know, he became more distant, and I became more annoyed, and I was like, and I think it was like was it in September, October, I came across this. I don't know how I came across it, but I guess it was meant to be that I would find this information. I found on Google about twin flames, and I started reading, and I was like, oh, oof, this is so much like us. Earlier I was like, because I had met some narcissists after my divorce, and they do this. You who have experienced the same, that narcissists know that they do this hot and cold and this ghosting, and they get quiet, silent treatment. So I was like, oh, I hope he's not a narcissist again. And I was like, and I brought this up with him once, and I said, I don't think you are a narcissist, but you are acting like it, and it doesn't feel good when you get silent. And he wrote to me about some problems that he had. I won't talk about them here, but he had issues with himself and problems, and well, but he didn't want to open up anymore, even if I tried to tell him that he can talk to me, but he didn't. So this is how it went. He got more silent, and I was like, I was for a few months, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna lay low, and maybe he will, come to me when he's ready, and I'll give him some space. But it was hard, because I felt like we had this connection that I've never felt before. All you twin flames know what I'm talking about. It's like you can't explain it. It's like something out of this world. But at the same time, when we lost contact for a few months, I think it was in November, I started experience these weird things or weird things. It was like, it started with I found a heart on my front, what is it called, the door outside on the doormat. It was from was it from an orange or mandarin? I don't know what they're called in English, but the fruits. It's like small oranges, and it was like a heart shape of that. And on my doormat it said like welcome. So that was the start of my awakening, my spiritual awakening. After that I started seeing hearts a lot, everywhere. They were like, I've seen them in the sky, in the clouds. I've seen them on the water, on my clothes, like heart shapes. I've seen them out here in the woods. I see them all the time. And yeah, so that's how it started. And I was like, oh, am I going crazy? What is this? Am I imagining things? At first I was like, maybe I'm just imagining things. And I have a very good friend, and I started sending him, look at this, look, I found a heart again. And I was like, this can't be just imagination or coincidence. And so it kept on going like this, and I started seeing number sequels. It started with 1111, and oh, now my dog is coming to his name is Rocky, by the way. So But oh, don't pull the wood under my ass. I have something to sit on here so I won't get cold. But yeah, where was I? So I started seeing all these number sequels and everything. You know, you all that's gone through a spiritual awakening know what I'm talking about. And at first you think, I'm going crazy, what is this? I'm imagining, it can't be. And you start reading about it and you're like, yeah, this is it. This is what it, Rocky! Soon I don't have a chair here in my... Okay, so, but anyways, back to my twin flame story. So, well, a few months later, it was in February, I was going on vacation to Spain, to the Canary Islands, with my parents and my daughter and my brother and his family. And before I went there, I started seeing these signs and everything, and more hearts, and these signs, numbers, sequels that meant like change is coming and there's something, and I felt like there's something going on. So I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna contact me now, maybe he's gonna come, maybe something's gonna happen. Well, we went to Spain, and I was at the gym and I took some selfie there, and I used to follow his friend on Instagram, and his friend commented something about this picture, and I was like, okay. So I didn't felt right, so I wanted to tell him about this, that his friend had commented on him, because his friend had once earlier sent some message to me, even if he knew that me and my twin flame had something going on, and my twin flame got mad at this. But anyways, I wanted to be honest and tell him that his friend did this. So I sent him the screenshot of what he had commented, and he just wrote, oh, something like, oh, okay, nice, okay, good for you, or something like that. I was like, oh, okay, you think so? And I don't know, at that point I just started, I just explained everything to him. I told him how I felt, and I told him that I think he's in denial about his problems and everything, and about his emotions. He can't open up to me, and I just said, I've had enough, that's it. And took a long time before he replied, and the only thing he replied was with a heart, and that's it. That's the last time I heard from him. A few months later, I heard this song on the radio. It's what's the name of the song? It's with Avicii. But what's the name of the song? Okay, now I can't get it in my head. I don't know why. But anyways, maybe I'll remember later. Anyways, but this song, it really, all the text, everything, it described how I felt about him and us and what we were and everything. And I a few months earlier, sent him a message about this twin flame, or it was a link to an article about it, and I was like, I wrote him that I want you to read it, and because this sounds like us. He said he would read it, but he never commented or wrote anything more about it. But anyways, so yes, where were I? Sorry, I'm not so used to making these videos, so I'm a bit I get a bit distracted, or but next video it will be better. I'm gonna get better at this. Anyways, so I sent him the song, the link to the song, to YouTube with Avicii, and he didn't. I just wrote him that this is like us, and I just wrote that you don't have to reply anything, answer anything, and he didn't. And after that, there's been nothing. That's like 2 years ago. But after this was in April. Then in May, in August the same year, I don't know how I found out this. It's weird. I think I went to some picture on Instagram because he used to play football for this team, and I just went to that picture. It was a picture of him and maybe some other teammates, and I just looked at the likes who had liked this picture. I don't know why, but and I saw this girl, and I just remember her because I saw sometime before when we used to follow each other on Instagram that he had liked some picture or some comment or something that she had made, and that had made me very jealous then. And maybe somehow I knew inside that there's something with this girl. But anyways, so I clicked on her profile, Instagram profile, and what did I find? I found pictures of her with him, and they're together. They had been together. They had just started dating at that same month when we lost contact. So I was devastated, to say the least. I was, because all these months after I sent him that link to the YouTube, and I had that Avicii song, I still was hoping, I still believed deep down inside that we would be together. Now my dog is he's enjoying the forest. But I still believed, that he would come back. He was feeling what I was feeling, and he was gonna come, and we were gonna be together. But when I saw this picture, I was like, oh no. It was like someone had taken a knife and punched it straight to my heart. That's how it felt. It was like I've never felt that kind of pain. And I remember I was laying on the bathroom floor, like in a child pose, like babies are, infants, when they're born, or in the stomach. I was like that, crying, and I was like screaming. I was like, I can't describe that pain. It was like, but afterwards I knew that this was something I had to experience, because this was my biggest fear. It has been my whole life. It was with my ex when we were together, even if he would never have cheated on me. He was such a good man and he was faithful. But this was my biggest fear, that he would leave me for someone else. So I was so jealous. I was jealous of everyone. It was like, and I knew this afterwards, that it's because of this, because the fear of someone leaving me, that I'm not good enough, that they will leave. And yeah, I think that's most of people's fear, or especially us twin flames. We have a lot of baggage, a lot of fears, and a lot of karma. And this was my biggest fear. This was my biggest, what I've been the most afraid of. And it happened. I found the man of my dreams, the man that I felt like, this is my twin flame. This is the man I'm supposed to be with. It was, and then he chooses someone else. He just leaves. And this, I know, happens to a lot of us twin flames. And I had read about it. I knew that it happens to a lot, but I thought, no, he wouldn't do that. No, not him. He wouldn't do that. I was like sure about that he wouldn't. He would wait for me. He would be like me, But no, he didn't. So I had to, what could I do? The thought was to me, first, I'll write to her. I will tell her that he's my twin flame, and that what they have is not real, it won't last, and he's living in denial, and he is, but I can't do anything about it. It's his choice, it's his life. The only power I have is to make my life, to my choices, and to decide how I wanted to carry on. Was I gonna keep on dreaming about him, waiting for him, a man who chose to be with someone else? No, I don't think so. So after that, that's when I started, you can say from zero, to build myself up, because I was broken. I was broken after that. I was a broken soul. So after that's how my journey, 2-year journey until now, began to the person I'm today. And it's been a long, long journey, and it's been hard. It's been so hard, and you know, all you twin flames out there, it's hell. It's hell going through this journey, and especially because you can't tell people. They don't know. They can't possibly understand something like this, and that's, I think, makes you feel very, very alone. And yeah, it's unexplainable to someone who hasn't gone through it. It's like the pain and the everything. It's like you start digging deep down inside, getting all the rubbish out. Learn to stop living through your ego, your head, and start living through your soul. And to let go of all the fears, all that old shit that you have inside, and all the... It's hard. But I've come a long way now. Now after that, that's like... Is that 2 years ago already? Yeah, it is. And about a half year ago, was it that? I found out that he and his girlfriend, they're having a baby. And I can't say that it didn't affect me, but it didn't do anything like what it did to me when I found out he has a girlfriend, because I've let it go, you know. I've let it go, and he chose his life, and it was his decision. And when I found out he was going to be a father, I just started hoping that I hope that he's happy, and I hope that this is what he really wants, and that he's happy, and that he gives his all, and that for this baby's sake, because, you know, it would be sad to see him break apart, and for that baby not to have a father. But that's his choice, his life now. So, and my life now, my life is beautiful. I'm still single. I'm single as but I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm healed. I'm like, I found myself, and yeah, I am happy. So yeah, I wanted to share this story because I know there's a lot of twin flames out there going through this shit, and that's not come as far on the journey that I am. And I hope this can help someone to know that there's light in the end of the tunnel. Remember that, and when you get to the light, it is beautiful. And when you're whole here, you know that you don't need that other person. You don't need your twin flame with you to be happy, to be whole. You know, you learn your worth, and you learn that if that person doesn't want to be with me, he doesn't deserve me. Even if we're twin flame, even if he might love you deep down, and he does, because all twin flame does, they can't forget you. They never can. But if they choose to be with someone else, if they're not awakened, if they're not where you are, then you let them go, because they don't deserve you. They don't. Doesn't matter how much they love you and what they would say, but if they're not doing anything to prove that, to be with you, or to heal, to get where you are or where you're trying to get, then they're not worth it. Let them go. Let them go. But with love, not with like resentment, or because I don't wish my twin flame any. I wish that he's happy. I wish that he's happy and whole. And there's not many twin flames that are together in the physical, in this world, and I have not still figured out or know if they're supposed to be, or I don't know so much about this twin flame journey. I know where I've been and where I don't know where I'm going or where it's gonna end, but I know that this is a journey. It's about yourself, and it's about healing yourself and becoming the person that you are supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be in life. And I think this is one thing that I'm supposed to do. I love writing, by the way. I'm trying to write a book. I have a blog. It's in Swedish. I'm thinking about starting a blog in English, but this will be my first YouTube video, and it's not maybe so good because this is my first one and it's windy, but I want it to be outside because this is where I love to be. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on doing these videos, and yeah, we'll see what the next video will be about. I think it's gonna be a lot about my awakening and about what I've learned and sharing my thoughts, but it's gonna be some other stuff too. Yeah. So I hope you're all doing good, and I wish you all strength, all twin flames, or all people out there who see this video, and see you later. Bye bye.